What are the top vehicles that you should never buy used? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Up Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. It's no secret that car prices have skyrocketed to the point where in the US, the average new car is now approaching $50,000. And an alarming number of buyers are now paying over $1,000 a month for their car, which is mind-blowing. And sadly, things are not that much better in Canada and other countries. So naturally, you might be thinking that buying a lightly used car is the logical way to save yourself a ton of money. Well, for this video, I'm going to show you why for many vehicles that won't be the case. And I'm going to share 10 popular vehicles that actually cost more to buy lightly used than brand new. But before we get into it, if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. I post 2 videos a week, always straight to the point, valuable car buying advice designed to help you, the consumer. The information for this video is provided by ISeeCars, a reputable car buying and research company that provides useful data on the car industry. So let's get right into this list, starting with the first vehicle, which is the Honda Civic. According to ISeeCars, the average price for a lightly used 1 to 2 year old Honda Civic is $29,683, which is roughly $297 or 1% more than the equivalent brand new Civic. And it's not hard to see why that is. The Civic is a very popular, high-demand vehicle thanks to its affordable price, strong reputation for reliability, and low operating costs and repair costs. But because the supply of brand new Civics is so low and you could be waiting such a long time to order one, like for example in my area in Ontario, where you could be waiting up to 6 months to get your hands on a Civic LX, the prices of used Civics has gone through the roof. Now obviously it makes no sense to buy a used car when it costs more or even roughly the same price as what you can pay for a brand new one. So if you have the flexibility to wait, ordering a brand new Civic is definitely the way to go. And next up on the list, in the number 9 spot, we have the Ford Bronco. According to ISeeCars, the average price for a lightly used 1 to 2 year old Bronco is $55,372, which is roughly $900 or 1.7% more than the equivalent brand new one. The Bronco is another high demand vehicle, and Ford has been struggling to meet demand ever since it hit the market back in 2021. It is very difficult to buy one of these for MSRP or buy one without a very long waiting period, which is why the used ones are consistently selling for roughly the same price or a higher price than what you can get one for brand new. But it's not just specialty cars like the Bronco that can have crazy pricing. We also see the same with the next vehicle on the list in the number 8 spot, which is the Kia Carnival. According to the study, the average lightly used Carnival that's 1 to 2 years old is $42,025, which is roughly $916 or 2.2% more than what a brand new one costs. Kia has actually been seriously struggling to meet demand for a lot of their popular vehicles, especially the hybrid and plug-in hybrid SUVs, the full-size Kia Telluride, and also the Carnival minivan. It's not uncommon in some areas to have a waiting period anywhere from 6 to 12 months if you want to get your hands on a brand new Carnival, which is why the used ones are really not selling for any less than what they cost brand new. And the same is definitely true of the next vehicle in the number 7 spot, which is the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. According to the study, the average lightly used RAV4 Hybrid that's 1 to 2 years old is $40,045, which is $953 or 2.4% more than the equivalent brand new one. The current generation RAV4 Hybrid was already a very high demand vehicle with limited availability even before the pandemic. And with the ongoing car shortage, the supply and demand situation for the RAV4 Hybrid has only become a lot worse. Brand new RAV4 hybrids are routinely selling for way over MSRP across the US. And if you want to get your hands on one in Canada, you could be waiting anywhere from 8 to 12 months for a brand new one. And because of this situation, the price of used RAV4 hybrids have not come down at all. If anything, you are going to be spending more money buying a used one versus a brand new one, which means this is another vehicle that makes absolutely no sense to even look for on the used car market. And moving on to the next vehicle, in the number 6 spot, we have the Toyota Corolla Cross. According to ISeeCars, the average used Corolla Cross sells for $30,636, which is around $853 or 2.9% more than the equivalent brand new one. Even though the Corolla Cross is an excellent, small, affordable SUV to buy, there's no question, it is very difficult to get your hands on one of these, at least for MSRP, and at least without a very long waiting period. So don't even think about buying one of these used, because realistically, it's not going to happen, unless you're willing to pay a lot more money than what a brand new one costs. And next up, in the number 5 spot, we have the Toyota RAV4 Prime. According to ISeeCars, lightly used RAV4 Primes that are 1 to 2 years old sell for $51,298, which is around $1,726, or 3.5% more than what the equivalent brand new one costs. That's pretty shocking information, but really not that surprising when you learn how difficult it is to get your hands on a RAV4 Prime. The RAV4 Prime is the plug-in hybrid version of the RAV4, and it is much more difficult to buy than the regular hybrid. In some areas, dealerships are asking anywhere from 10 to 20 grand over MSRP for one, and in other areas, you could be waiting anywhere from 2 to 3 years if you want to get your hands on one brand new. And because of this situation, if you're even able to find a used RAV4 Prime, the price is likely going to be through the roof to the point where it makes absolutely no sense to buy. And sadly, the same could also be said of the number 4 vehicle, which is the Toyota Sienna. According to the study, a lightly used Sienna that's 1 to 2 years old costs $50,978, which is $1,806, or 3.7% more than the equivalent brand new one. Ever since the Sienna was redesigned back in 2021 and it became a hybrid-only model, the supply has been very limited, and the demand has also gone through the roof. This is another example of a vehicle where in many areas, dealerships are asking way over the original MSRP. And if you are able to order a brand new one, you could be waiting over a year. But as frustrating as that is, it makes absolutely no sense to be spending more money on a used Sienna. So if you do have the ability to wait, ordering a brand new one is still definitely the way to go. And moving on to something a little bit different, for the number 3 spot, we have the Mercedes G Wagon. According to ISeeCars, a lightly used G Wagon that's 1 to 2 years old cost $196,228. Which is around $8,633, or 4.6% more than the equivalent brand new one. Now this one again is no surprise. The G Wagon has always been a very high demand vehicle with extremely limited availability. In fact, when the current generation G Wagon came out back in 2019, the supply was so limited that initially a lot of Mercedes dealerships were only selling them to existing G Wagon owners. And if you can even get yourself on a list to buy a brand new one, you are easily going to be waiting anywhere from 2 to 3 years. And that brings us to the number 2 vehicle on the list, which is the Toyota Corolla Hybrid. According to the study, a lightly used Corolla Hybrid that's 1 to 2 years old costs $27,809, which is around $2,038, or 7.9% more than what a brand new one costs. That's some truly shocking information, but just goes to highlight how desirable the Corolla Hybrid really is, much like the other vehicles on this list. Finding a brand new one without a huge markup is extremely difficult in many areas, and if you are able to order one for MSRP, you will likely have to wait a very long time, anywhere from 6 to 12 months depending on where you're located. But much like the other vehicles, this is another one that makes absolutely no sense to be buying used. So if you really want to have one, you do need to have the patience and just order a brand new one and wait. And that brings us to the last and the most overpriced used vehicle on this list, which is the Ford Maverick. According to ISeeCars, a lightly used 1 to 2 year old Maverick costs $36,777, which is over $4,000, or 12.3% more than the equivalent brand new one. I was expecting to see the Maverick on this list because ever since it hit the market back in late 2021, the demand has far been outstripping the supply. In fact, for many periods of time, Ford actually had to stop accepting orders for the Maverick because there was such a severe backlog of pre-orders that Ford was just not able to meet demand. The Maverick Hybrid is an especially difficult one to buy, and in many cases you will have to wait over a year if you want to get your hands on one brand new. Which is again why used Mavericks are really not dropping in price, and you are going to be paying a huge premium if you want to buy one of these. So what are the major takeaways from this list? Well, number 1, just because all these vehicles are very overpriced doesn't mean that you shouldn't be buying one. It just means that you shouldn't be buying a used one. If you really want to buy one of these vehicles, the best way to do so is to order one brand new. Now that might require a long waiting period depending on where you're located, and in some areas, dealerships might be charging a markup over MSRP, which means you might need to shop around and buy from a dealership further away if you want to get a fair price. But if you are able to do so and have the flexibility and time to wait, there's no question, ordering a brand new car makes a lot more sense. Not only are you going to have a new vehicle with no wear and tear, but you're also going to have a full warranty, and you're going to have a vehicle that has a lot more value down the road. You also have to keep in mind that new cars also have lower interest rates on financing versus used cars. So not only are you going to be overpaying if you buy one of these cars lightly used, but you're also going to be paying more on the financing. So realistically, it just doesn't make any sense. But don't think that the vehicles on this list are the only ones that are overpriced right now. The reality is that the majority of popular vehicles, especially affordable cars and SUVs and crossovers, are all overpriced on the used market. So if you do have the ability to wait, the best thing to do is just to buy a car in the future. So let me know what you thought of this video, and if you have any suggestions for any future car videos, just leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at my other car videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you need additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.